Hello! So today I'm going to talk about Dispatch. Dispatch is a game that I think surprised a lot of people, but for me, what was really surprising is how popular it got. When I played the demo a few months back, there weren't that many people talking about it, or I think even knew about it really. But as the episodes were coming out since Dispatch came out, I've been seeing it everywhere, and that's really cool. I'm really glad Dispatch is getting notoriety and popularity, and that's just awesome to me. So Dispatch is created by Ad Hoc Studios, and in collaboration with Critical Role, which I don't exactly know what that means, other than I know that there's a lot of people from Critical Role that do voices in this game, but I don't necessarily know to what extent. Well, actually, I believe executive producers Travis Willingham and Matt Mercer are executive producers. What is Dispatch? What kind of game is it? It's very much like an interactive movie in a way, where you make choices, and then if you turn on the quick time events, because those are toggleable, but then there is the actual gameplay portion where it is pretty much a worker placement, resource management sorta kind of game, where you send your heroes off to do, jobs and stuff like that. Hope that they do well. It's by probability for the most part, and things incrementally get harder and more difficult. There are things that will happen, like I believe in episode 3, when the threat of being cut from the team is there, they start sabotaging each other. Each dispatch will have something different and something to change things up, which is really appreciative. I really appreciate that it's just not the same monotony the whole time. Each of the characters that you dispatch all have their own specific skills that they're really good at, and they can rank up or level up, which you can increase a skill rank by 1. And they all also have special abilities that will change up how a mission goes, or change up skills. They might have +1s in certain stats, or they might move quicker and stuff like that. It's fun, and you can unlock additional powers for your characters as you play through the game. Every character also has a synergy pair to them, so 2 characters can be paired together, and the more you pair them together, the more likely that their synergy level will go up. And if it's at max rank, then the boost in succeeding something together is even higher. And so I don't know, it's cool. Synergy pairs are good to just keep in mind of, because you never know, the synergy can really boost a 70% to a 90%. What's the story of the game? Well, the story of the game is the main point of it. So we play a character named Robert. Robert is a former superhero named Mecha Man. We actually start off in episode 1 with him doing his his last mission, and we get to see kind of what happens with that. But yeah, his Mecha Man suit, or his mecha suit, gets pretty fucked up, and so he gets recruited by Blonde Blazer, who I love, to become a dispatcher for the Superhero Dispatch Network, or SDN. And and that's kind of the general premise at the start of the game, is that we are Robert, we become a dispatcher. Now, the team that Robert dispatches is the Z team, but they're also known as the Phoenix Program. The Phoenix Program is pretty much they're pretty much villains that are trying to reform, and they join this program. Pretty interesting crew. So we have Sonar, who is the man bat, or Bat Boy as they call him. Sonar is pretty cool. I'll get to that. Sonar's pretty cool. He is the main intellectual person of the team. He's the one that starts off with the highest intelligence or intellect, and he can also transform into a bat form, where his I believe his charisma and his intellect get swapped with his vigor and his combat, respectively. And so he is pretty interestingly malleable in that way. He changes pretty often, right, if you use him a lot. But it's also something to be wary of, because maybe you need someone who is good at intellect, but he's in his bat form, and it's oh shit. So just keep that in mind. Then we also have Flambe, who is a fire guy. Flambe is okay. He grew on me over the course of the game, but that's about it. I didn't mind Flambe after a while, but yeah, he grew on me over the course of the game. At the start, I honestly did not really care that much about him. And he's also pretty antagonistic towards Robert. Then we have Invisigal, who used to go by Invisibitch. She can go invisible only when she holds her breath, which is kind of shitty. She also has asthma, and she's a smoker, so her breath or her lung capacity not the greatest. But yeah, she's okay. She's one of your highest mobility people at the beginning of the game, and she's cool. Like she's like, I'm not gonna lie, she's one of the main characters in this game. Like the way I'm talking about her kind of like writes her off a little bit, but no, like Invisigal is like one of the main characters in the game. She was written to have a lot of screen time, so just so you're aware of that. Coupe was a former ballerina, and she was an assassin hit woman for a mob boss, and she's cool. She has Umbra Kinesis, so she can manipulate darkness and stuff like that. She's also like uses knives. I don't know, she's fun. I like Coupe a lot too. Next up is Punch Up. I love Punch Up. He's one of my favorites, even though he doesn't have a whole lot of story moments. He's honestly just really funny. He's just a little funny short king. I love Punch Up a lot. His power though, so he has Pycnokinesis, I think is what it's called, where like he can change like the density of his like muscle matter and like skin and stuff like that. He's just fun because like his power is that if he's ever injured, he doesn't get debuffed from it, and I don't think he can get knocked out. So like he's always going to just like be there, and so that's always been really fun. Punch Up was kind of like one of my main guys as I was playing through the game a couple times. So yeah, I love Punch Up. Next up is Malevola, who, oh my god, I love Malevola so much. She's so cool. She was my all-rounder during my playthroughs. And what I mean by that is that like her stats for me were pretty spread relatively even, but that didn't make her bad. It just made her really versatile. So I love Malevola so much. And oddly enough, you might not see it like just by looking at her, but Malevola is also the technical healer of the group. So when she gets dispatched with someone who is injured, she'll heal them, and it's like, oh shit. And her extra power-ups also kind of use that ability to like heal people to do other things as well. Like the one that I got that I really liked in my second playthrough is when she dispatches with someone who is injured, she creates a portal to get to like the call faster, and they can teleport back. And I was like, damn, that's really helpful. So super helpful. Although I think I did encounter a bug. I didn't record this, unfortunately, but I think I encountered a bug one time when Malevola did that, and Invisigal was out on a mission, and then Invisigal could not move. She literally could not move. Was like stuck at like where the mission was. Like it got completed, but like she just wouldn't come back from the mission. It was really weird. But anyway, Malevola, love her so much. Next up is Golem. Golem is also one of my favorite characters in the game. He is fantastic. Oh my god, Golem is truly my MVP in both of the playthroughs I did. Golem is a sentient construct. He is only 20 years old. He is adorable. There's the way that they animated him is so cute. Like he is an adorable character. He gets a power up that I abused so much because it was just so helpful. He has an ability where like if there's like multiple slots for a call, he can fill up the rest of the slots, and then there will be incremental bonuses depending on how many slots he fills up with just him. So you can send him off on doing like a 4-man call, send him off, and then he can pretty much take care of it pretty easily. So he became my MVP, and like the reason why I didn't fail as many calls as I did. Like he loved Golem for that. Golem's great. The Prism, I also love Prism. I wish Prism actually got more screen time. I feel like Prism was mostly written to be the comedic character, or like the comedic relief, but I don't know, I wanted more of her, and I really wish we got more of her. Her power is that she has photokinesis, I believe, so she can like manipulate light and like create like light illusion duplicate stuff. I really like her. She's fun. There isn't one single one that I'm like, oh god, I fucking hated this character so much. No, I actually liked pretty much all of the characters that are part of our team, part of the pro tag group. I really liked pretty much all of them. Later on, you do get the choice between two other heroes, and I'll go over that when I talk about spoilers. But yeah, so you get to kind of get to know the team. The general vibe is like Suicide Squad or Thunderbolts, right? It's a ragtag of like former villains, reformed villains, and stuff like that, and it's just fun. It's just fun to kind of like play through that and be the Amanda Wallace of the group. Now, the art direction of this game, I really appreciate it. I think it's really fun. It's very cartoony, and that's something I like. I like it when a game has a certain art direction and art style, because I will always prefer art style and like some sort of art style or art direction over realistic graphics. Like, that's just how I am as a person. But yeah, and the general vibe of this game, I said this during my Dispatch demo playthrough, but I'll say it here as well. The vibe I get from this game is like early 2000s Adult Swim. Like, not even just from, the art style, the art direction, but I also get it from the dialogue, the writing. The writing really reminds me of old school Adult Swim cartoons, and I think that's really fun as someone who grew up watching some of those. I must also say, like, the writing of this game was really good. There were some parts that are, kind of corny and kind of like, okay, that's all right, but for the most part, I did like the writing of the game. I think it was really, really well written, and I will also say I think the voice acting of the game is also so good. Every single person, I think, really sold their characters really well through their voice acting. I don't think there was a single performance, honestly, that I didn't believe or didn't like. I, for the most part, just really, really enjoyed this game's voice directing and voice acting. It was so good. And I know that they got quite a bit of YouTubers or like people who are mostly known for YouTube to be voice actors in this game. And that's cool. Like, I mean, everyone deserves an opportunity for whatever, right? So yeah, I thought that was really cool. In my first playthrough, I was playing it really episodically, so I was going week by week playing through it. And then my second playthrough, I played it all together. And I was making different choices and stuff like that. So I actually got to see different perspectives of the game, or like different like scenarios play out because of the different choices. And yeah, it's just one of those games that like I will say it doesn't have like a whole lot of replay value outside of like maybe just like changing up your choices here and there. Although there is talk about the developers thinking about a season 2, and they said thinking, and that's like, you know what, do what you gotta do. They did kind of wrap up this game pretty well, so I don't know, will it be a continuation of Robert's story or will it be someone else's? I don't know. And something that I've seen float online that people don't like is like the lack of depth of a lot of the characters, especially those on the Z team. However, you will find more character development or character like, lore and stuff like that in the comics. The comics will actually share quite a bit of stuff. Let me just say this. The comics don't share like, oh my god, like this deep, like philosophical origin story. They're actually mostly just kind of chill, except for the last one. But they're mostly chill stories. Well, chill might not be the right word either, but they're not like this extensive story. Like, they're only like maybe a few pages, and they're really fun. Like, they all have a different art style to them. Like, the first one is Waterboys, and Waterboys art style kind of reminds me of like old Peanut comics. Oh, what's it called? Like Dennis the Menace, kind of stuff, like that kind of era of comic style. But then we have Malevolent Sonar, where we learn more about Malevolent Sonar. They're besties, they're roommates, and so they just do shit together. And yeah, we learn that, they're just friends. But the art style for them is a bit more akin to your typical comic book style, but a little bit more cartoony. So I would say like maybe Archie comics is kind of like the best way for me to describe that. And then we also get Coupe and Punch Up, where we learn how they meet each other. And they immediately fuck. I'm not even joking. Their comic style is manga. They have a manga style for their comics. And I actually really like theirs because I didn't know that. Like, you learned something. So, like, something that you learned in that is that Coupe was sent to kill Punch Up. And then because he was so durable, she got the hots for him. And then they ended up fucking. You get Blonde Blazer. And her art style for hers, I don't know, it's also like kind of like your typical like comic book style, I will say. It looks different from Malevola's and Sonar's, but yeah. So we learn a little bit about her relationship with Phenomena Man. There we go. We get to learn more about Blonde Blazer and Phenomena Man's relationship a little bit, and kind of like how she feels in that relationship. And that's interesting. And then the very last comic is one about Chase and Robert's dad, mostly. If you ever wonder why Chase's ear is kind of fucked up, that's where we learn it. So if you ever want to learn more about like the characters and like, or some of the characters, not all of them, because like Flambe doesn't have a comic, Golem doesn't have a comic, Prism doesn't either, and Invisigal doesn't as well. You get to learn more about some of the characters, and even if it's not anything in depth, it's given us something to kind of be like, oh, okay, now I kind of get this character maybe a little bit more, or like kind of where they come from kind of thing. If you ever need to, read the comics. They're pretty straightforward. But yeah, so I think that's kind of like the general premise of this game, and like just the fun stuff of this game. And I do recommend this game. I think it's really, really fun. However, I know there are some people who don't like kind of like this more interactive movie style type of games, and that's okay. Like, you don't need to play it. It's just one of those things. Just like, if it strikes your fancy, check it out. But if it doesn't, then by all means, you're not obligated to play anything that you don't want to play, or watch a playthrough if that's the case. Like, do whatever you feel. Alright, but to kind of go into spoiler territories, right? We get to choose between Waterboy and Phenomena Man, right? After we cut either Sonar or Coupe. Well, let me also say, like, when we had to cut Sonar or Coupe, I was wondering if I could game the game. So I just like let the timer run out. I was like, oh, I wonder if I let the timer run out, it'll just mean that like I don't want to cut anyone. So I let the timer run out, and then it just chose Sonar for me. I was like, well, fuck. And I just gave him flight, so I was like, god damn it. That was my first playthrough, but it was okay. Like, it worked out by the end. But yeah, so when you get to choose between Waterboy and Phenomena Man, I chose Waterboy because I was like, I need to give this guy a chance, and I'm glad I did. I actually, while I do like Phenomena Man, because in my second playthrough I chose Phenomena Man, I do like Phenomena Man. However, his whole mechanic really fucking pissed me off. I was just like, you know what, Waterboy was the correct choice. Waterboy is one of the, like, if you play Fire Emblem, Waterboy is kind of like your Est archetype, where like starts off very, very weak because like his skills are bad, but you can gradually grow him into kind of what you want him to be, which is really cool. So I started using him a lot more, and he became my intellect guy because I didn't have Sonar, so I made him my intellect guy, as well as I think I was also trying to make Coupe intellect as well. Intellect and mobility. I don't know, it worked out. I actually really enjoyed having Waterboy on the team. He was fun. Can we just also talk about how fun so many of the scenes in this game was, right? My favorite scene, which I think is a lot of people's favorite scene, is the bar fight. The bar fight is so fun. First off, Robert is brutal as fuck. He fights dirty as hell, but he's in a villain bar, so you have to. What do you mean he bit off someone's fucking finger? What do you mean? What do you mean he pulled someone's robotic eye out? What the fuck? Damn, he's brutal. Like, Robert's brutal. I can see like how he can like stand on his own now. I also really like the scene that happens after, like, kind of intermittently with the bar fight scene, which is all of them just talking to each other. I liked most of the scenes where like they were just kind of like chilling with each other. Another scene that I really liked too was when Prism and Malevola were like, "What hero were you?" and stuff like that. That was a really fun scene too. So there's a lot of fun scenes. Finale was just like this big fun spectacle. However, I had QuickTime events activated, and so I was stressed. I was stressed during the end part. And the thing is, it's like, I don't know why they made QuickTime events at all, because they weren't utilized much. Like, they were utilized at the beginning during the bar fight scene. I think during when like Invisigal was trying to get the Astral Pulse, I think it was there. I actually can't remember. And then at the end. And so it's just like, okay, I don't know why they made QuickTime events at all. And so I turned it off for my second playthrough, and it was just like me watching like a show, and that was fine. I appreciated that more. And I was also able to kind of like pay attention to what was happening versus like, oh my god, QuickTime events, I can't even look at like the fight between Shroud and Robert right now. So if you're in a playthrough or trying to think of a playthrough and you're going like listening to this, I would recommend just turn the QuickTime events off. Just make it a cinematic experience. Don't have it on. Like, there's no point in doing it. The more I think about it, like, there's really no point in having the QuickTime events. And yeah, there's some portions of the game that could be a little bit better. The first ending I got, though, or like first playthrough I got, this is one of my complaints, and people might think this is a hot take, and some people are gonna probably get really mad about this. But the first playthrough I did was I romanced Invisigal. And it's not because I was like actually that interested in romancing Invisigal. It just felt like they were writing Invisigal to be like the romance. And so I was like, okay, let me like go with what the writers kind of are doing, because like there was just so much Invisigal. And I get why, like especially like, you know, towards the end now, having finished the game now, I get why they were pushing Invisigal so much, but at the same time I was like, why are they pushing her so hard? They pushed Invisigal so hard, and it kind of like dampened some of the playthrough for me, especially in that first one where, like, yes, I don't get me wrong, I really like Invisigal. I really do. I think her character is super fun, super good in like this like compelling way. Like, she added a lot to the story, do not get me wrong. However, I think they were just like pushing her so much to be like the romance partner for Robert, because like there were a few moments with Blonde Blazer where it's just like, oh shit, like they were trying to do that. But then like when you kind of like don't show Blonde Blazer like that sort of interest, Blonde Blazer backs off. She's just like, no, we cool and things are fine. As for Invisigal, they were really like, oh, anytime you didn't choose her, she would like get jealous, and or like she would have that look of like jealousy, you know. And that was something I was like, okay, they really want you to pick Invisigal. As much as they were also somewhat pushing Blonde Blazer, they were mostly pushing Invisigal. And it's like, all right. So that's the reason why I don't love the romance with Robert and Invisigal. I do vastly prefer the romance between Robert and Blonde Blazer, or you find out her name's Mandy. I do prefer Mandy and Robert together. Just because, one, it's healthier. It's vastly healthier. And two, feels safe. You know, like Robert needs someone who's safe, and Invisigal's not that kind of person yet. I truly do appreciate the writing in this game, but there were some weak points of it. Like, there's also like one part, okay, if there's anything about Coupe that really bothered me, it's like, so if you chose to cut Coupe, and during the scene where like Robert's, you know, strung up and like getting punched and shit like that, or like cut by Coupe, Blonde Blazer comes in to save him, right? There's one part that felt really out of character for Coupe, and it's like when Blonde Blazer is talking, Coupe's just like, okay mom. It's like, that felt so out of character. That felt so out of character. Like, I don't think there was like any indication in my first playthrough, because in my first playthrough I cut Sonar, and so when I was going through my second playthrough and like that part came up with Coupe saying okay mom to Blonde Blazer, I was like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? Like, I could understand her like being annoyed with Blonde Blazer, but having that, and it's just a okay mom, and the way it was said, I was like, what the fuck, that felt so out of character. That's just me. To talk about things I like again about this game, I like a lot of things about this game. I do like how like the choices felt like they really mattered though, for the most part. I like, especially like cutting Coupe or Sonar. Like the fight with them in the last episode is different depending on who it is, obviously, but then like even like where it takes place is different. Like in Coupe you fight in the air, with Sonar you fight in like the gym area of SDN, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, that's pretty fun. Your choices in just like how you interact with the team is different, and like your outcome with how your Robert is different too. Like my Roberts were always for the 2 playthroughs I did, my Robert was like, oh, your Robert always tries to do the right thing at the right time. And I was like, hell yeah. Because, I mean, I was trying to embrace him being a superhero. I wanted him to be a superhero, or like have that heroic mindset, even though he was so beaten down inside. Your choices felt like they mattered, and that's really fun. I also liked seeing like who my most used heroes and stuff were, but then like some of them did not make sense. Like in my second playthrough, there were a few times where it was just like, Coupe was your most used hero, or Phenomenon was your first most used hero. I was like, I don't think so. I think I used Malevola and Punch Up more than them. What are you talking about? It was really weird, but yeah, I don't know. This game's all about choice, and I like that a lot. It's really fun. But anyway, yeah, so like I really like this game. It's really fun, and I would love to hear like how people experience their playthrough as well, because I mean, the point of these type of games is being able to like make a bunch of different choices and then kind of go forward with that. But yeah, if you're thinking about playing this game, I mean, definitely look up some gameplay and some stuff, see if it might suit your fancy. And if not, again, it's okay. Just watch a playthrough. Because I think this game offers a lot of like watchability, because it is like a show. It is like watching a show for the most part that you have some agency in, until you go into like the actual like dispatch gameplay. Then yeah, obviously you have to pay attention. And yeah, so if all that sounds great, I recommend this game for sure. If not, whatever. I'm not holding you hostage for anything. I'm not gonna beat you for something you don't have. Alright, so I'm going to make a tier list to kind of end off this video, and just also kind of talk about what I like about the characters some more, just because why not? There may or may not be some spoilers here, I'm just saying. So let's start off with Robert, actually, instead of Blonde Blazer. Robert, actually let me explain the tier list real quick too. We have Phenomenal, which is our usual S tier. Phenomenal, that just makes a lot of sense. Astral Pulse are for characters I think are really good, and I like them quite a bit. Bitch You Blind Forever is going to be kind of like the middle ground. Is like, I like them, but they're nothing outstanding to me. Cut from the team is, you know, I don't mind them that much, but I also don't love them. And then Hose Depressed, because that's the song that Prism sings by her voice actor, by the way. Is like, I don't like them at all, which no one's gonna be down here. I'll say that right off the bat. No one's gonna be down here. I just want to have a fun little tier list name. And so, alright, yeah, so just with that out of the way, let's start off with Robert. Robert, I am putting in Astral Pulse. I think Robert's writing is really, really, really good. He is a really compelling protagonist, in my opinion. What's funny is that I remember when as the games, like the episodes were coming out, people were like, God, this is just like a basic white mediocre man. But then like he turns out to actually be more than just a mediocre man. So, and as a mediocre man, it's cool to see him not be a mediocre man. So yeah, he was really fun. I think he's a really compelling, fascinating character because of his story, and kind of like you almost get to forge what the relationship is like between Robert and his dad at the beginning. You kind of forge that for yourself. And in the comics, there is a quite, I don't know, the way I took it from the comics, there's a kind of a strong implication of Robert being very upset with his dad being gone all the time, as well as like, 'cause in the comic you see little Robert holding a hammer, and you can see that he had hit the Mecha Man suit. So there's like some held resentment there, and I think there is still held resentment in him that, you know, he doesn't like really work throughout the course of the game, but like it's stuff that's like, oh shit, like this is why he is the way he is. So you kind of get to forge that, and I really like that. I also like how much of what feels like a pretty natural vibe with the rest of the Z team. I really like the vibe he has with them. They all feel very like fluid and nothing like forced, you know, it doesn't feel forced. And that's something I appreciate. So I really like Robert. Blonde Blazer though, I'm putting in, I can't speak. I'm putting Blonde Blazer in Phenomenal. I love Blonde Blazer. I love Mandy. Oh my god. Oh my god, I love Blonde Blazer. I love Mandy. They're the same person. Just one's blonde and one's brunette. It's a very superficial distinction. It's very superficial. However, it's pretty core to her backstory a little bit. So in the comic with her and Phenomena Man, goddamn, I can't say that name. What the hell? The backstory though, like it's not a whole extensive backstory, but there's a panel where she says, "Hey, like, can I just be Mandy or something like that?" It's like, and Phenomena Man's like, "Well, I prefer Blonde Blazer," and stuff like that. It's like, oh, so that's why she feels so like weird about not being Blonde Blazer, and like why she feels like she'll disappoint people by being herself, by being Mandy. So there's a lot of like character stuff just in that in itself, and I love that so much. So I love Blonde Blazer so fucking much. And also when she fucking comes in clutch during the final dispatches, oh, like hero. Yeah, I love her so much. Chase, phenomenal. I love Chase. This motherfucker, I love him so much. He is so fun. He's such a fun and well-written character in my opinion. And just like the whole cruel fate of, you know, he's only 39, but if he uses his powers, he ages 5 times faster. And that's like, that's sad. It's a really hard thing, but I really love Chase. I think he is, well, this is one of the things that you can choose in, I think, episode 7, where you can kind of like forge what the relationship is like between Robert and Chase. And I always choose, oh, Chase was like an older brother, especially in like that like sequence, like where it's like a past sequence, right, where you get to see younger Chase and younger Robert interact. And it's just like, no, like, yeah, Chase is kind of like Robert's like older brother, and I love that so much. So yeah, I love Chase. Royd. Okay, so Royd. I'm gonna put Royd in Bitch You Blind Forever. I like Royd, but the thing is like he really fell off after the whole mecha suit stuff. I was hoping he'd have a little bit more presence because they show him so much, but they didn't really do much with Royd up until like the end, where he was fighting people by himself, which was really cool, don't get me wrong, but I wish that they would have done a little bit more with him because they highlighted him quite a bit. And so the flow of Royd is just like kind of not really there for me. I just didn't really see him like all being all that like present, but I still like him. All right, Invisigal. I am putting Invisigal, controversial, probably, in Astral Pulse. I like Invisigal, like I said. I really like Invisigal. I just don't love how it felt they were trying to force her to be like the main like romance option for Robert. Like there's a strong bias towards like going for Invisigal. Yeah, I mean, I kind of ranted about it, but yeah, I just don't like that forced feeling. And it's just like, okay, so that's. But other than that, I do like Invisigal as a character. She's fun. She is one of those like, oh, like I push people away so I don't get hurt kind of thing. But then like also an overshare. I don't know. She's an interesting character. I like her. Coupe. Oh, it's funny because I can kind of rank Coupe kind of based off of like both playthroughs. Because I cut Sonar in the first one, so I had Coupe, but then I cut Coupe in my second playthrough. So I got to see kind of both facets of her. Same with Sonar. So actually, let me put them together real quick down here, just so I could kind of go back to back there. Coupe, I'm going to put Coupe in... Actually, you know, I'm going to put Coupe in Bitch You Blind Forever. I like Coupe a lot. I like when you don't cut her and you keep her on the team. She is so grateful. She's very good. She's like, oh my god, I am glad to still be here and stuff like that. I really, really like Coupe in that aspect. But then I also love how she is as kind of like the villain. But spoilers, the one that you cut becomes a villain later. And I like how she is as the villain too. She's really fun. And so, oh, actually, yeah, no, I'm gonna keep her in Bitch You Blind Forever because again, this is a tier that means I still like them, just not as much as people up here. And so, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think Coupe is just such a fun character. She's so good in both like the villain and the hero role. Sonar, I warmed up to Sonar in my second playthrough because I had him, but I really warmed up to him a lot more. Oh, actually, you know what? No, fuck this. I'm putting Coupe and Sonar in Astral Pulse because like the more I kept thinking about it, because I think about the bar fight scene too, because they both like come in to help obviously, and it's fun to see how they both interact. Like Coupe was just like, hey Robert, if you need me to off anyone, just let me know. She's like, thank you for keeping me on. Like I love her so much. And then like Sonar is like more like, you know, like I try to play it cool, but honestly, like thank you so much. Like, you know, like I like him a lot too. Sonar's fun. He's a crypto bro, which is usually not a character I generally gravitate towards, but like he's just a fun character overall that I can forgive that. And you know, like he is just like, I like his relationship with Malevola too, because like they are roommates, they're best friends, and so just like the way that they talk to each other is really fun. And I don't know, Sonar is a fun character in that way as well. Yeah, I like Sonar. Flambe, okay, Flambe, this one may or may not be controversial, I don't know. I'm putting him cut from the team. While I did really warm up to Flambe over the course of the game, I honestly just like didn't care for Flambe that much. Like I liked the bits of story stuff we get with Flambe for sure, but I don't love how Flambe was just like not really there unless like they're like, oh, here's this guy that's just gonna be a bitch to Robert just to be a bitch to Robert, you know? Like we already have Invisigal kind of doing that. We don't need Flambe to tag onto it. I don't know, like it was just like I like Flambe more than I started off with, but honestly, if the choice was cut Flambe, Coupe or Sonar, I would cut Flambe. I'm just saying. Punch Up, phenomenal. I love Punch Up. Even in the demo, I really like Punch Up. I don't know why. And like the thing is, he doesn't have a whole lot of story presence, which might go counter against what I've been saying for some of these characters. But he's just so fun. He's just such a fun little short king. I love him so fucking much. Like, especially towards the end where Recommend's just like, I mean, I have a friend who will show you a great time. And it's just like fucking Punch Up doing the fucking Henry Cavill, like, reload punch thing. I don't know. He's so fun. I love Punch Up so much. I also love a lot of his dialogue. Golem, also phenomenal. He is my fucking MVP in my dispatch sequences. I love Golem so much. He truly MVP with his power to like take over every single slot and get bonuses for that. Oh my god, love him so much. Could not have done so many of those like dispatch missions without him. And he's just so adorable. He's so cute. Like how happy he looks when during the bar fight scene, like when he sees the portal from Malevola. It's just how happy he looks is so cute. I love it so much. Malevola, also phenomenal. I really like Malevola so much. She is, it's funny, I think a line she says sometime during the game is just like, ooh, this benevolent demon thing is kind of like sitting well with me or some shit like that. And I was like, yes it is, bitch. I love Malevola. She's probably like the most like level-minded out of everyone in the whole entire Z team, which is so funny to me. She's like the most level-headed, and I appreciate that a lot. She's just so fucking cool. She's so fucking cool. If Malevola was romanceable, I would go for Malevola 100%. And I think like the thing with Malevola too is that one reason why I really like her is that she does subvert the kind of the trope that she would typically be, which is like, you know, this demoness and shit like that, like who is trying to raise hell, but in reality she's just like, so I'm working with Sonar, we're trying to get him clean, we're trying to get his transformations under control, and like I love that so much. I love that so much. So my love is great. Prism, I'm putting Prism in Astral Pulse. I like Prism so much. I wish we got more of Prism though, to be honest, but I really like Prism for the most part because she is just so fun. I know she's written very comedic relief, but at the same time it really worked too. I just wish we got more of her and got to see her expand more. But also like the way she talks about and to Blonde Blazer is so cute because it's a little fangirly. Like in the subtext, it's a little fangirly. It's really fun. She's like, Miss Blazer. Like the way that she just addresses Blonde Blazer is so cute to me. I love it so much, and I think like that those little brief interactions really like do a lot for me. All right, Waterboy. Okay, Waterboy. I like Waterboy, but I am putting him Bitch You Blind Forever because the thing with Waterboy is that he does get more confident throughout the game and he expresses himself more throughout the game. However, I wish he got more development. I think that's kind of my thing. I wish he was the thing that they did with Invisigal with Robert is what I kind of wish they did with Waterboy instead. I wish like Waterboy could have been the character that you as Robert could have helped cultivate to be a much more confident, you know, guy. I really wish that was the case there, and like really work on that mentorship with Waterboy. That's something I would have appreciated more. And then Phenomenon, who I'm also gonna put in Bitch You Blind Forever. I really like Phenomenon. I think he's fun. The whole depressed thing because of a breakup is, you know, relatable to a lot of people. And the thing with that though is just like, yes, he does gradually get happier, and then if you are with Blonde Blazer, he doesn't mind. He doesn't mind at all, which is really good. That's totally fine. I think the thing that bothers me the most about Phenomenon, god damn it, is that like I wish like almost in the same way with Waterboy, where it's like I wish there was a little bit of a mentorship that like Robert could have done for Phenomenon, not in the same vein as Waterboy, because Waterboy I think it's just like, oh, how do we mentor him to become like, to embrace himself, to be like this hero, while like yes, I think like a mentorship with Phenomenon to also embrace himself but also like love himself should have been there. Like it just wasn't very present. And so the thing with Waterboy and Phenomenon is like I think there could have been really great potential for their characters to get this mentorship and grow more, but I think that was kind of not the point, which is unfortunate, but I think that could have been cool. So anyway, so this is my tier list. I'm so sorry, Flambe, you're the only one of the Z team that's been cut from the team, because I would cut you from the team. I don't mind Flambe that much anymore. He is usually the one I never use though during dispatch missions. I'm not gonna lie to you, which is funny because like his power is actually really good. But yeah, anyway, that's how I'm gonna end the video with the tier list. So let me know who your favorite characters are as well, and if you play this game, let me know your feelings about it. I'd love to know. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.